So just real quick, this is the Cheat Day Show. We're joined by Nimesh Patel, who's a fantastic writer, producer, comedian, friend. Big thank you for doing the podcast. It's incredibly hard.
Thanks for having me.
To book podcast guests now because everyone's got a podcast.
Everyone's got a podcast.
So no one wants to do them.
Yeah.
So it's like, and plus you had just said, you haven't really done a lot of these, so kind of feel special.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, it's by design. I haven't done a lot because then you get flooded with requests and people are like, come do this to me. And like, I would be worn so thin by the end of doing and like some podcasts are like 3 people listen to them. It's like, I don't.
We have at least 4.
Yeah, I mean, that's perfect. That's my minimum.
That's the crew. And, hey, we're not in Bushwick. That's where 99% of these things are being recorded.
This was a nice bike ride over the bridge from Brooklyn. Took a stroll. It was a beautiful day.
There's the Comedy Cellar, and we're going to feed you. We're going to feed you some chicken. I've asked our chef, Raph, today what he's making. He hasn't told me. He told me he's making 3 types of chicken based on your request. And your request was very specific, no red meat.
Yes.
Why is that?
Religious. I haven't had it since... I had it like when I was in 8th and 9th grade, and then I never really had any good red meat. Like I never had a good steak or anything like that. Like the closest I had was a burger from Burger King. But at some point I was like, I don't really need to eat this. And my mom always made like chicken at the house. So I was like, all right, chicken and fish is cool. But for religious reasons, I was like, okay, if God says don't eat all meat, I guess if I don't eat beef and pork and all that, it should be all right. I should be reincarnated a little bit better.
Well, for our listeners, what God?
I'm Hindu. I try to practice, but, life gets in the way.
But your baseline of not eating red meat should keep you in good terms for reincarnation.
Yeah, for a while.
Like,
otherwise, I'm pretty good. Otherwise, I don't need to do any eating of the cow to, if I'm on the fence and that's the decision, and God's like, but you had that steak when you shouldn't have at Peter Luger's, like, my bad. I don't need that to be a decision point, Oh,
it's also a good health choice too. Like, just so happens, I feel like you're doing
heart disease runs in Indian families, in South Asian people, like at a above average rate, from what I understand. So I don't need to complicate that as well.
And American people, so you got a double win.
Yeah.
It's like
But it's an Indian
Thanks
people.
for bringing us down. This is a show about indulgences, and you
Eat all you want. But no, I mean, I'm glad this is cheat day.
as he's sitting here at 1:00 with a pint glass of red wine.
It's good for your heart.
oh, cheers!
It's
I
good
love
for
his
your heart.
energy.
It's good for your heart. You gotta
I love the duality of comedians. Like, I don't do that, but I enjoy heroin every now and then.
Well, the red meat decision is not a health decision. It's a religious decision. It's my soul's decision for later. This is
also a soul decision.
Now, is your wife Hindu?
No.
Does she eat red meat?
She does.
Is that going to be complicated in the afterlife?
It's up to her.
Okay.
It's not for me to decide. Whatever Yahweh says and whatever she feels Yahweh's going to direct her, then that's all on them.
Okay.
We're all Hindu as it is, even if we don't know it. But, we'll see how it goes.
I like the confidence there.
Yeah. That's all it is.
Confidence. Just like you should know that you actually are Hindu.
Yeah.
You're just doing a bad job, kitty.
No, yeah, everyone's doing it.
Isn't that the belief, though, of every religion, that, like, every person is of...
No.
It's not?
No, the Jews are the chosen people, and
Right.
they don't let you in the club. You have to pass a test.
Okay, they have exclusivity.
That's right.
Right.
Well, that's a bit ridiculous.
The Catholics believe everyone's a fucking sinner. You know what I mean? They're like,
You're born
everyone...
with original sin, yeah?
Yeah, everyone's born... Which is a tough thing to grow up with, you know what I mean?
Or you grow up Catholic.
Yeah, but retired now, because of all of the touching of the kids. Like, I couldn't really, get on board necessarily, so I'm out.
Did you see that video?
I wasn't really tied to it.
Did you see that video of that pastor who said, like, he confessed to his entire congregation that he had committed adultery with some congregation member, and turns out the woman was in the room, and she was like, you took my virginity when I was 16, and you continued to have sex with me when I was a kid. And then he kept trying to spin it as like, no, I'm so sorry, like, this is how I framed it. And then the woman was like, no, you were a fucking child molester.
Jesus,
It's beautiful.
fuck.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful video.
I think I read a little bit about that. But I mean, if you're there for Sunday services that day, are you just like,
yeah? So, he got a standing O for apologizing, and then she came on, and people were like booing him and stuff. It was fucking awesome.
He got a standing O because they were like, at least it's not a little boy.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a win for us.
Like, at least she's not gay. Well,
at least it's not an 8-year-old kid. Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, there's got to be a lot of pastors out there having sex with like girls and getting away with it.
right.
I mean,
it's just a little bit more palatable for their community.
Exactly.
I don't know. Religion's complicated.
It is.
I mean, those. I don't
love kicking it off with the religion, the cheat day show.
Obviously, yes. Obviously, do not have relations with minors. That's a terrible idea. Anyone. But
Matt Gates, if you're listening.
Yeah. Shout out MG. Do not do that. Whatever you're thinking right now, don't do it.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking about his buddy who was the tax collector in Florida.
Who's that?
The one who went to jail. Matt Gates is his wingman in the
That's
whole
too
scandal.
deep for me. I don't know about this.
He was I forget his position in Florida, but he had a that's the reason why Matt got roped into that is because his buddy was texting and.
Oh, he's the dude who was like Venmoing girls like $300.
Yeah.
Guys.
If you learn anything,
Don't put it on Venmo.
Whoa,
Like, what's
Venmo?
with Don't. It's and
you
I
let
bet it was on
cash.
public too.
Yeah,
He didn't
no,
even make
it's
it private.
cash.
Yeah.
If you learn anything,
It's got to be cash.
Fucking guys.
Cash. That's what we
Unbelievable.
always say on the Cheat Day show.
Well, I went to the you don't eat red meat, but I went to the Outback this week. That was my indulgence. Outback Steakhouse, 23rd
Where?
Street.
But they have. Oh,
Yeah.
they have one in the city.
Yeah.
You know, there's better steakhouses.
Okay, so this is
You're in New York.
This is I like a chain restaurant.
There's probably like
I
two down the street.
One time I was dating a girl and we went to Outback and she was really laying into me like, there's so many good restaurants in New York City and you take me to the Outback. This is like, she's laying into me and the waiter comes over and he goes, before he says anything, he goes, Liza Minnelli's right behind you. And I was like, you see that? She sings New York, New York.
Right. That's
She was.
fantastic.
Liza Minnelli was just pounding a blooming onion. It was like the best day of my life.
The blooming onion is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good stuff.
fine.
Yeah.
That's very endearing of you. I feel like you're kind of blue collar at heart that you still go to Outback. That's
Outback's a good
cute.
steakhouse, man.
Where is Outback?
23rd Street, up the block from Gotham.
And I bet is this you and then tourists? It's like I bet this is the best steakhouse in New York City.
Probably, but hey, listen. You know, Nate used to go to Applebee's in New York City.
Yeah,
all the
look,
time,
I can't knock. I never had it, so I don't know what a good steak is and what a bad steak is. But I do know that my wife goes to Peter Luger every now and then, and
It's a good steakhouse.
yeah, friends have gone to. One of my friends just went to Jack and Charlie's down the street.
Yeah.
It's apparently fucking incredible. They do have a fantastic duck meatloaf. I would highly recommend it.
You eat duck?
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of blurred lines here.
It's not bird. It's just birds. He's
I don't
eating
give a fuck.
birds.
Ducks are cute.
He's eating birds. That's it.
Ducks are cute until I was in, where was I? I was in Huntsville, Alabama, and I was at the city park, and I was walking, and there's like a group of 4 ducks, and I guess like one of them felt threatened, so it like flashed its ass at me, and it was a male duck. You know how ducks have like squiggly, like super
Yeah, the corkscrew penises.
corkscrew dicks?
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
That's so
They're
fun.
all-
You got to see it.
They're all cute until you see a corkscrew dick. Like, that shit
Well,
is
I know what I'm
disgusting.
going to be
Wow.
Googling later.
You're a dog.
It looked like pasta.
Nimesh, you're one of the few comedians I think that like you had a future and you chose comedy. Like you're kind of an accomplished guy in comedy, but even besides comedy, you were already on the right track. You were a guy who went to Stern Business School at NYU.
Undergrad.
Yeah, that's a really hard school to get into.
Yeah, it was all right. I mean, I was down the street from here, but I was.
First dish.
Yo.
Oh shit! What's up,
What?
chef?
Oh my.
Chef
What's up,
Raph
Nimesh?
just dropping some
Oh
food
my
on us.
stars.
Nice to meet you, man.
What
What
are
is
What are
that?
we looking at here?
So I got the other dish coming right now. What is this? What's the first one? That's just fried chicken.
Just fried chicken. What's the sauce?
All it is. It's like a ramp remoulade.
A what?
So just give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
That looks.
Dangerous. You know what's crazy is that I've been looking for good fried chicken in New York because the places I used to go to really fell off.
A lot of places fell off because
So
of the
many
pandemic.
places fell off.
And this is pre-pandemic. I think the 2 places I would go to. Well, the one place I would go to pre-pandemic fell off, and then the other place I just went to recently, I was like, fried chicken has changed in New York City, and I don't know what happened, but Sweet Chick fell off.
Sweet Chick did fall off.
Sweet Chick fell
Oh
off.
my good God, he's got many dishes.
I don't want to slander, but it really fell off.
Sorry, Nas,
What's
if you're
going on?
listening.
Maybe is it the chicken, or do you think it's the restaurant?
It was. I don't know if
Both.
it's. What is
Oh,
this?
he's dropping
Oh
some
my! It
heaven.
More
smells
chicken?
heavenly. It really
Oh
smells
shit!
great.
Thank
I'm
you.
just gonna finish it with some sauce.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tables high because that's what we all deserve.
Oh my goodness, this looks
For the
incredible.
listeners, Raph got really sort of
Oh, he's got
highbrow
it.
here today.
Yeah, yeah. He's jazzing
I
us
did
up
not
here.
expect a man in this T-shirt to be cooking food like this.
Right?
Oh,
It's such a misdirect.
there's a
Yeah.
drizzle. There's a drizzle on my chicken.
I will have so much more respect for people wearing vintage Pantera T-shirts. The Pantera, who is that?
Nah, this is my boy's brand actually. It's called Among the Prime.
Among the Prime.
No longer exists actually. We changed it.
It's no longer Among the Prime.
No sir.
I just want you to know, Raph, I had Outback recently, so there's a lot of competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you should. Let's see how this stacks up to it.
I mean
That's chicken too.
I need
This
to
is-
eat that. Right? That's the fried chicken. I need to eat that. This is all. What is this?
This is roasted chicken.
Roasted chicken and fried chicken for Nimesh because he said he didn't want any red meat, and he said he was a big chicken fan.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to have, you got to explain to us what we're eating here.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's do the fried chicken. So this is potato chip crusted fried chicken. It's Zapp's Voodoo. Don't fuck around. It's the best chips ever. We got some pickled ramps, which are, it's a very seasonal vegetable. It's in the onion family. So only grows for about 6 weeks in the year. It's really strange because you cannot grow them at all in a farm. They're only wild. So
Why not?
I'm not a farmer. I couldn't tell you, but they are only in the northeast of America. And yeah,
Ramps?
you could just find them in like parks and shit like that.
Called ramps.
Yeah,
RAMPS.
RAMPS. Yeah.
Rams.
And yeah, so this is just fried chicken and ramps. It has like a kind of like a remoulade that has ramps in it. The ramps are pickled, charred, and
Is that pink thing? That's the ramps.
yes, sir.
Got it.
Those are pickled, so they're pickled in like a rosé vinegar. So that's why it's kind of on the pink side.
Okay.
And then yeah, kind of like more of an elevated dish. The one that's plated and has the kind of bullshit flowers and mustard greens on top.
The bullshit, the bullshit flowers.
Yeah, but they
It's a great presentation.
They are in the onion family, so everything is there for a reason. Like it's not.
And it's springy.
Yeah, yeah. So
Cute,
it's just a
Raph.
celebration of spring. Spring's a wonderful, wonderful season. So yeah, we have heritage brick chicken. It actually is that. It's not just said. So yeah, it's just chicken, ramps, and also some asparagus. So yeah, it's just that's all it is. Just kind of done in like a bunch of different ways.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah, see, I didn't bring you guys forks and knives.
No. Yeah.
So-
Utensils
Okay.
would be a little.
Just dig in. No,
No, don't.
I'm gonna go get those. I'll be right back.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Rav. All right,
Well, there
let's
you
talk
go.
shit
We like
about
to.
Rav.
Raph wanted to treat you right, man. Look
Oh,
at
this looks amazing.
This looks so good.
Oh, this looks like I'm not dressed good enough for this food. This is the kind of food you're like, I should have worn a suit.
It's like looks very skinny.
I don't know what that is. Is that what he said it was?
I don't know, but it's very.
I think that's that flour shit that he was talking about.
Just the flowers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
see.
this is your cheat day, Nimesh. So
This is a lot better than I would eat on a cheat day. I'll tell you that much.
I definitely, you got to do me a favor.
Fried chicken and chips.
Hold the bowl to your face if you don't mind. I want to get a.
There you go.
Which one? This one?
Yeah, let's get a
Thank
nice
you.
shot of you and your fancy food.
Look at this. Chicken and flowers coming right up. Could I get the mic stand?
Yeah, sure.
You were saying,
Oh, dude, you're like you were a guy that was set up to do big things in the real world, and you're one of the few. Like there is that strain of comedian who gives a lot of stuff up to do comedy, and you're certainly one of them. Like you were Stern, then pre-med, like.
I mean, I don't want to make it sound like I gave up a lucrative career or anything like that. I just had a decision point to make at some point in my life, and I just chose. I didn't really choose until 2015 or 2016. Like, so I graduated in 08 from NYU with a pre-med finance degree, but I dropped pre-med my junior year because I got a C in Orgo, and I was like, I'm not doing this shit anyway. I don't give a fuck about it. And then I was a finance major, but I was only a finance major because it was a thing to do.
Yeah.
I was at the best school. I was like, because I joined in the College of Arts and Sciences, like the
CAS.
big school, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then
That's
I transferred to Stern because I was at NYU, and I was like, I had good enough grades to transfer. I was like, I'm at the best school, might as well transfer.
Yeah.
Transferred, so everyone else is doing finance, I'll do finance. I don't really know much about it, but let's figure it out. And then I thought I was just an overconfident student where I thought I could just, I did great in high school. I could figure this shit out, no problem. Turns out everyone did great in high school. That's why they're at this fucking school. And I graduated without landing a banking job, which is all my friends had done. And then I was like underemployed, bumblefucking around. And 2009, I was like, I got to do something, because I was underemployed at Bloomberg in New Jersey, like living at my parents' place. And I was like, what do I like to do? I like writing. I like making people laugh. So gave comedy a shot. And then once the bug hit, I was like, I got to do stand-up. Now I got to find a job leveraging my finance degree that will let me live in New York, make enough money to pay rent so my parents don't have to pay for me, and I could still do this. And once I got a job, then my parents got off my dick. Even though I wasn't making any money, I was like, making assistant money, which is decent to live in New York, but like I wasn't banking like my friends were. But I was still doing stand-up after like 6 o'clock. I could go do open mics and shit. Right around the corner. It's my first open mic ever.
Which one?
Actually, second open mic ever in New York. My first one was Eastville, back when Eastville was on 4th Street. Mm-hmm. And then my open mic over here was Comedy Corner.
Oh God!
I don't know if you remember Comedy Corner.
Was PJ running it at that time? Or?
PJ sounds familiar, but I don't know who the fuck's mic it was. But that was a mic I would go to a lot, and I remember I'd bring friends there and shit. It was dope. It was a great time.
So
it was a Qdoba right on this corner too.
Comedy Corner was previously Sal's Comedy Hole.
I never knew
Sal
that.
Froyo ran that, and he originally started the Grizzly Pear, and then he moved down the block to the Comedy Corner.
Okay.
Nimesh is eating the roasted chicken. He looks happy.
Sorry,
It's really good, Ralph.
chewing.
Thank you.
No, we don't mind the food noises, man. Chew into the mic.
skin
That's
is
part of
really-
it.
It's called cheat day, my man.
Mm-hmm.
Just hit it. Yeah. So there's just chicken fat riddled all over everything. I mean, I thought I'd tell you that before you took a bite. Yeah, that's the cheat day situation. But yeah, we got the fried chicken over here. Feel free to hit it.
I'm
It's
saving the best
crunchy
for
as
last.
Yes, sir. How long did it take you to like start actually making money and
In comedy?
Yeah, I'm sure it took a long time.
We're
right?
all still working on it.
So am I. Actually. So am I.
We're doing this for the free lunch. Did you know
Yeah.
that?
I've been doing this for 7-8 years, and I mean, I'm basically just started doing my own thing like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. So
Well, I didn't. I'll make money on spots and stuff, like $20 here, $50 here, whatever like that, but nothing to like live. And I worked in finance until 2016. 2015, Chris Rock saw me at my show called Broken Comedy at Bar Matchless that I used to run with Michael J. and Mike Denny. And then that was summer 2015. That was also the same summer that my job was like up in the air because I was working as a associate at this family office, like helping decide where rich people invest their money. And then that summer, that job was going to end and then we had a 6-month window where we had to like find new jobs and shit. And it was that same summer that Chris Rock saw me and was like, "You're really funny." And then like 3 months later, I got a job in the Oscars.
Wow.
November of 2015. That job ended January 2016. February 2016, I was in LA writing on the Oscars. And then after that job ended, I thought I was going to be, working in comedy for the rest of my life. I thought people calling me, "Oh, you were writing for the Oscars. Here's this job. Here's this. Do this show. Do that show. Do stand up here. Do stand up there." I remember Sunday night, I was at the Oscars in a tuxedo in Governor's Ball, hanging with like Aaron Rodgers and Louis C.K. and all these every people on the dance floor dancing with their Oscars in their hand. Monday night, I'm eating pizza outside of the Comedy Store, waiting to do 3 minutes on an open mic.
that's how life works,
The
right?
dichotomy.
That's comedy, dude.
And that's just how, and it just hit me like, this shit is not going to be as easy as I thought. And I was like, I might have to go look for a real job because my real job had just ended. And I couldn't go back into the finance world because there was no way I was going to make the same amount of money I was making in my finance job and still be able to do a 9 to 5. I was too progressed in my finance career to like go back to being an assistant. Like no one would have hired me. And to do an associate level job, I'd have to quit comedy because that's like a fucking 12 hours a day. Like, you have to really love that shit. So I thought I could be a copywriter. It's like, I just wrote in the Oscars. How hard could fucking writing advertising be? I just worked for Chris Rock. Like, do you know what the fuck I am? They didn't give a
And did you have an agent at this point?
No.
Okay.
They didn't give a shit. No one gives a shit in the copywriting world. Like,
fuck I am.
we're all funny. You're not copywriters. Anyway. Do you have a portfolio? No, I don't have a fucking portfolio. I went to the fucking Oscars. How's that for a goddamn portfolio? And then for like 4 or 5, and then Hassan got the congressional, got the congressional correspondence dinner, and he helped me. I wrote on that, so that helped me out a bit. And then I was like floundering for a bit, and then I think Comedy KO happened for like 2 or 3 months. That was a show on
Knockouts on True TV.
Comedy Knockout.
Yeah.
And I did that for a few months, and then when that ended, I was like, "What am I gonna do now?" I was like, I think at this point, it's like I'm just gonna. Comedy jobs happen to just come randomly when I'm like praying really hard, so I'll just keep praying, and then I wrote for Aquafina's show when she had a show on Verizon Go 90, and then after that ended, I was like, I'm just gonna do comedy. It took like a lot of signs for me to just do comedy, you know.
But I mean, to your point, so the last gig we did together was for Sachin at that Mexican restaurant. So it's me,
Dude, what?
Nimesh,
Wait, I met Sachin at Shiva's show.
and
Right?
the Lucas brothers, and they're going to the Oscars because their movie had been nominated the next week, and we're sitting at this table in a crappy Mexican restaurant. And there's a mariachi band opening for us, and they're like, "Yeah, we're going to the Oscars next week." And we're like,
I would love to see that. That sounds incredible.
We all ate various dicks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was. That's one of those shows where they're like, "Do you want to go first?" You're like, "Yes, please, God, yes." Let's quick.
Drunk ass lady kept interrupting. I remember her. What's her name? Do you remember that?
Yes, I do. I don't remember her name. I do remember.
She was like the sister of the boss.
Yeah, she was wasted.
She was trash. I never forget her. Like her face. If I saw her like 2 weeks later outside of the same Mexican restaurant, and I just crossed the
She
street.
just hangs out at that Mexican
I
restaurant.
guess she must live
Really?
nearby or something.
Was she just fucked up, or was she actually heckling, like actively
No,
antagonizing?
She was actively antagonizing, drunk as shit, and I was like, I'm not a super like mean, aggressive person, but I was just like, no one's ever told you to shut the fuck up. Like, it was a room like maybe half the size.
And this was this before? I mean, it was still COVID, but it was. I don't know if it was.
No, it was whatever. I can't
I don't remember when. I do know that it was just crazy that we're at this awful show, and there's 4 of us, and two of the 4 are going to the Oscars the next week.
Yeah,
and we're
so
like, what
it had
is
to be
going on here?
2021. It wasn't this year. It was the last year. I think it was last year, and they won, by the way. But it was. It had to be 2021 because it wasn't 2020 because it wasn't COVID, so it had to be 2021.
Oh no, it was definitely after the vaccine. I know that.
Yeah.
It was definitely after the
Oh,
vaccine.
this is very recent.
Yeah, but it's just that's comedy. Like you're 1 minute you're like doing the coolest thing in the world, and the next minute,
You're still at a restaurant. Yeah.
Can I eat this piece?
yeah,
Yes,
jump
sir.
into the fried
Yeah.
chicken, go for it.
That one.
Yeah,
oh my
man, get a
God.
little bit of that sauce.
But
There you go.
now, when you started, did you like? Because I feel like the dynamics changed. Did you ever have any visions of wanting to go on the road or wanting to?
I honestly had no idea what the fuck I was doing. 'Cause I like people are such comedy nerds and like everyone. I knew when I was 11, I wanted to be like George Carlin. It's like I would quote Chris Rock when I was in high school, and I would watch Russell Peters when I was a freshman in college, and that's how me and still one of my closest friends like became good friends. And like that was the first comedy set I ever showed my parents, but I still had no idea what I was. Fast forward to comedy 10 years later or whatever it was, like I don't know what I was doing. I still don't know what I'm doing, but like I'm not a comedy historian. Like I can't say I've studied comedians. I've watched Chris and I've watched a few others, like their sets and stuff, and Patrice and whoever, but I'm not like a super geeked out. Remember when in 1984 George Carlin said this on this? Like shout out to Sam Morrill and Mark Norman, all these guys who make me think like I don't know shit about comedy. These motherfuckers.
Sam majored in stand-up comedy at NYU.
Yeah, so it's like
Is that really a thing?
No, it
No.
shouldn't be.
No, wait. Is that really a thing?
Someone took 120 grand off of him to get a degree in stand-up comedy. Well, NYU ain't cheap. He went to
It's
CAS,
crazy.
College of Arts
Wow,
and
you all went to
Sciences.
this is also very good.
Yeah, thank
Wow.
you, sir.
Yo, can I?
What's your favorite, the roasted or the fried?
Fried, of course.
Yeah.
Potato chip skin.
Yeah, doggy.
How do you make fried chicken unhealthier? Cooking potato skin is fucking delicious.
That's exactly what you got to do.
So do you feel like you learned from the people around you the most? Like, because I guess you're completely self-taught, but what was like the medium per se? Or were you just like railing specials, just watching YouTube videos and I don't know.
I just thought stand-up was you get on stage and say things for 5 minutes, and hopefully they're funny. And like if I'm writing something and I laugh at it, then it's got to be funny, right? And that's how it went up initially. The first open mic was at Stress Factory in New Brunswick, New Jersey.
Vinny Brand, Stress
Vinny
Factory.
Brand, Stress Factory. Shout out to Vinny.
Was Julian still there at that time or no?
I think so. Yeah. I don't know if he was working there, but he was definitely like.
He was Julian McCullough was the house MC, and
Oh, he didn't MC when I was there. It was Vinny's show that night.
okay,
From what I remember, but because I don't know if it was Vinny's show, but he definitely did like 20 minutes on.
he does every show.
But he did 20 on mine, particularly because I had brought 20 cousins. I had stacked the deck. You know, it was like the most packed that open mic had been in a very long time. So he went up and just fucking, did 20, shout out my cousins the whole time. It was beautiful. And then Rich Voss went up.
Oh wow!
And I think Bonnie McFarlane was there. Because they live nearby or whatever. They live in, I think, Patterson or something. But, or no, Rich is from Patterson. But whatever it was. But when I started comedy, I didn't really have any idea as to. The only comedian I'd ever seen for real was Rock and Dana Carvey. Like, those are the two sets I remember growing up as a kid, but stand-up was never a thing. Like, I never watched it. I was never obsessed with it. I never
Did you watch SNL though?
No, I didn't watch that shit either.
Okay.
I would watch random episodes, like if something was popular.
He didn't watch that shit either. He wrote for SNL.
I know. That's why I asked.
Just quick
yeah.
note.
It's just like, that's the thing. Like, I've just kind of, I feel like a bit like Kramer, and that I've just fallen ass backwards into a lot of shit that I had no business being part of. And I just always thought, honestly, and this sounds like hubris, but I just thought comedy would be easy. Because I can speak well, and I can write well. How hard could it be?
I think that mindset
and it was.
benefits you.
But
Yeah.
it was, I mean, what God was saying to me was that you need to be humbled, because I definitely got humbled by comedy every step of the way,
Right.
Yeah, I think that's one of the better things of this profession is that if you want to be good at it, you have to be humbled almost weekly.
Every minute you're on stage, there's an opportunity for God to tell you ain't shit.
But I mean, that's why these big celebrities
Yeah.
come back and do these sets in these small rooms, because it makes them find the funny, and the audience is psyched to see them, but at the same time the audience is like, yeah, we don't really care, so get to it.
Right.
Just humility in a fucking microphone.
Yeah, it's like really similar to when I started cooking. I mean, you're basically getting yelled at. I mean, for me, by somebody probably half my size, and they're like talking mad shit, and you just have to do what they say, and if you kind of don't have the right attitude, you're just gonna get kicked out of the kitchen, and then you got to go back to being an assistant.
What's the process for a chef? Is you start out as like a busboy and then
So like how
for
it yeah, I mean I did, but like how it should be is you start out on the very, very bottom. So you're basically washing dishes, right?
Right.
So that's how you begin.
Did you go to culinary school, or did you?
I did, yeah. That was like 8 years ago. One of the biggest regrets of my life. I mean, I would
Really?
have
one?
rather. I went to a place called ICC. It's in Soho. No longer exists. But yeah, I mean, I would rather have just spent that money to like go to Asia or like go to Europe and taste food and kind of like.
did you know you want to be a chef?
I was studying for finance first, and then there you go.
Bunch of failed finance people here.
Yeah, man. Fuck finance.
I think men are just taught do finance,
it, bro.
do business. No, you
Yeah.
should go for it. I think it's like
Yeah.
gendered in a way that they're like, no, if you don't know, just do business, do finance, and then it's like, wait, I'm kind of artsy.
Yeah,
you know what
it was
I mean? You're
horrible.
like, oh, I'm a little creative. I can't do
Yeah.
the desk thing. Like, whereas I think women are a little bit, and this is not to say. I mean, women still make a lot less money, et cetera, et cetera. We're still discriminated. I think we do have a little bit more
Good thing you
freedom in
squeezed that one
terms
in
of choosing some disciplines. I think we have a little bit more leeway in some of the feminine or like seen as more feminine arts. if
So-
you will, not comedy.
Right. So I mean, and I'm guessing I don't know, but like, yeah, no one cared what I did. So that's why I was free to do comedy, because really no one in my life was like, you shouldn't do that. They didn't care. They
Yeah.
really didn't care.
Yeah, I mean,
your
that
dad thought
that-
you were acting,
That was similar
right?
to me too.
Yeah. He had no idea. He had no
Your dad
clue.
doesn't even know who you are.
No clue who I am. But I think
He thinks you
very-
and your brother are the same person.
Pretty
I don't have a
intense.
brother, but thank you for paying attention. What is this,
I am paying
what is this
attention.
Thanksgiving? Yeah, you and your brother. I don't have a brother, Dad. What the hell are you talking about?
I mean, I went to college like basically just to be in an organized party setting, more or less. And
Right.
it was in Manhattan, so I just kind of knew that I would have a great time. And then I just stopped going to class, and you can't do that. So
It's
yeah,
a social practice.
it was
college.
great, so much fun.
It is, but I mean,
Yeah.
like with you, you had real pressure on you. You know, your parents, I'm sure, weren't thrilled when you were like, "Hey, remember that NYU degree? Throwing it away."
No. I never
That's
forget
tough,
that phone
man.
call.
Oh,
When I told my mom I was dropping pre-med junior
Oh.
year,
Wow,
I never heard a woman scream.
junior year.
Junior year, I dropped it.
So that was
she
you were
screamed.
in for 3 years already, or that was
I was
like,
in for 3 years at that point.
Wow.
And
how'd you feel about that?
again, I very rarely, even to this day, have any idea of what I'm actually doing. It's just like I'll figure it out. And at that point, I wasn't mature enough to be thinking about the future. I was just like, I'm thinking about right now. I hate this shit. I don't want to do it. It's clearly like I'm
And
not.
you were bad at it. You got a C in Orga.
I got a
like,
C in Orgo.
Oh, man.
it was
gotta
slapping
see.
you in the face.
And
Just
I was just like,
Wow.
all right. And there was a lot going on externally outside of just studies and stuff that was impacting my brain for real. But it was just a point where I was like, I don't want to do this. And then my parents were like, all right. Well, they weren't like, all right, but they were like, well, we can't do anything minus pull you out of school, and we're not going to do that. So it was like, well, you better make something of yourself. And like, don't worry, I still have a finance degree. Fuck that was. Whatever that finance degree was, because it was like pointless because I wasn't recruiting anywhere. And again, like, this is my fault in that I had no idea what I was doing with the recruiting process because I never really wanted to do this shit in the first place.
and you were kind of late to the game. Don't people sort of recruit more like
Yeah.
end of sophomore year? Like you sort of learn how iBanking goes, and like you do the recruitment events. But if you get on board too late in college, you're kind of back where everyone else is. You're not in the same path. It's so
Dude,
sensitive.
You went a pretty fucking far away without actually like wanting to do any of this stuff. Like that's how many years is that? It's like 7 years of college.
Three.
Oh,
No,
all right.
4 years.
4. Okay.
My finance degree was an undergrad finance degree.
Okay.
But
Got you.
like all my friends, like some of my closest friends who got finance degrees undergrad are now like running billions of bucks, at hedge
Yeah.
funds and stuff. So it's not like you need to go to get an MBA and stuff. But like that's who I thought I was going to end up being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard crash of reality come out of NYU in '08, not with no job in tow and no plans to move to New York at any point. I figured that shit out and then go back to Jersey, live at my parents' place for like a year and a half until, I had a friend get me an internship. I was interning at his fund for a while I was doing stand up, and it was all brutal.
Yeah.
But
Finance sucks.
it all gave me a lot of humility and at the same time put a chip on my shoulder when it came to stand up, because it's like, if I was in this world where I was doing finance and pre-med at NYU, still a very good school, how hard could comedy be? Turns out fucking impossible.
Yeah. I think it does give you some confidence, though, in comedy where other people will waver. Maybe they haven't tried anything else or tried to pursue anything else. I think if you've already tried to do other things and you're like, I literally can't function in society doing other normal jobs, I think this is it for me, then you have sort of like, there's a no other mindset that you're just like, all right, well, we're here. This is what we're doing. I've tried everything else. Sorry.
That's really what it was.
Sorry, I'm getting too deep today.
I don't know. I mean, like, what I'm curious about is, so when you hit the rough times in stand-up, did you ever think you were going to be successful? And was there ever a moment of like, this may not work out, but I'm still going to do it, or I'm just going to stick to my guns and I think I will be successful?
I never thought I would fail because I really didn't have anything else I could do. There's moments where I was like, shit, should I go, go back to pre-med and like just see what happens there or whatever. But that was very early on, like when I was still like figuring shit out. But then I saw a lot of my peers become very successful and like hit their milestone. And every time it was dark, something bright would happen. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm on the right path. And in hindsight, that was just, I should have been looking for those signs from the universe the whole time and identified those signs from the universe when they were signs from the universe and confirmed that I was on the right path. But I didn't do that. I wasn't mature enough to do that. But now I do that all the time. But no, there's never a moment I was like, this shit ain't for me, man. I gotta hang this up. Because it was just like, I didn't have time to do that. I was too inundated with writing jokes and figuring out what was funny and getting on stage. There's always a mic to go to. Mm-hmm. There's always something to do. And it's like, all right, well, if this doesn't work out, why would I stop doing it? Because I can still just do it. It costs me nothing.
Right. And you can make, like, even if, I don't know, if you reason in your head, you're like, I could be pretty shitty at this and still do this for a living. You know what I mean? But, like, obviously you want to be better.
My eyes and heart were always on keeping up with my finance friends. You know what I mean? It was like I went to school with these motherfuckers and they're all making billions of dollars. I should at least be doing that. And granted, my lifestyle's a lot easier and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, that was always partly motivating. It was like, I'm just as smart or whatever as my closest friends. I should be just as successful, at least on a monetary level. And that also drove me to keep going. But it was like, at one point, I was like, what the fuck else am I going to do? Oh, what were you doing for 5 years that you're just an assistant at this investment bank? You went to NYU. I was like, oh, I was doing stand-up for a long time.
Yeah, you swam too far from shore. That's a real problem when you
can't re-enter.
There's too much of a gap in your resume.
Just keep swimming, man.
Yeah, well, you don't have a choice at this point.
Right.
Yeah, it's either drowned or make it.
Although now I bet with some of my accolades, I could go, hey, NYU, I want to get an MBA here. And then I could go get an MBA and figure that out. And entertainment or whatever.
Yeah.
Or, if I wanted to.
Would that benefit you at all?
No, I mean, I don't know. I would kill myself. I don't think I would want to do that. I'm just saying, I think I could. But there is like a moment where you swim so far from shore, where like, I can't swim back now. I just got to keep swimming and hope there's something else.
Listen, I texted someone earlier and I went, oh shit, I think I'm too old to join the Marines.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it's over for you.
Oh no, that was my backup plan.
Yeah.
I mean, if I could join the NBA right now, I would. But, there's a lot of reasons I can't. The least of which I'm too into comedy.
No, but you're doing well now. You're touring.
I'm working, yeah.
So, and I feel like you built this tour yourself.
I did.
So can
and with the help of my agent and manager, obviously. But
yeah, but I mean, like, you cultivated a fan base, mm-hmm. and you've arranged a tour. And why don't you tell us about that and your success?
TikTok. Thank you, China. I love you, China. China's the best. No better country in the world than China. If America were a lot like China, we'd be a perfect nation. China's awesome, man. No one's shooting up no schools in China, and if they are, you don't hear about it. You know
this
why?
Episode is paid for by China.
I just shout out to my wife and Sahib Singh, who told me to put shit out on TikTok, and I did, and luckily I was an early adopter, and or relatively early to the peers of mine who are doing stuff on TikTok now. And it's not like I was dancing or anything. I was just putting up stand-up clips because I had, shout out to the seller, like a huge treasure trove of clips that were editable and high-quality clips that had good audio and were good jokes and stuff, and that I wasn't doing on the road or wasn't doing, at shows or anything. Like I was throwaway material at that point. Still good comedy, but not stuff I was working on, so I could get rid of it and without the fear of people seeing it and, we saw this shit already. And I was working at the Lily Singh show at the time. This is 2021 now, mm-hmm. Which feels so fucking long ago.
What were you doing there?
I was just a writer.
Okay.
On her late night show, season 2. And I started putting stand-up out and managing my TikTok by myself, just putting shit out. And at some point, I just started seeing a lot of traction. And then I was like, how can I utilize this to promote myself? And then, I had a tour date booked with Eddie I'm not sure if you guys know Ed from. Do you know Ed from Houston? He's a engineer by trade. His last name is Aviles, I believe. But he's a booker out there. But he's an engineer by trade. But like he just loves comedy and started booking this room called the Comedy Hub. And I'd done it in 2019 and sold like 70 tickets or something. And then he was like, "We got to get you." And he had booked, for 2020. But then obviously pandemic happened, so I couldn't do anything. And then 2021 came around. I was like, "You want to do it again?" I was like, "Yeah, let's fucking go." And then I just saw an opportunity. It's like, let's see if I can use TikTok to promote this Houston show. And it ended up being I could, and I started selling a lot of tickets. And I sold I blew out what I did in 2019. It's like we had to, instead of doing one show in a 70-person room, we ended up doing 4 shows in a 200-person room. And I was like, oh, shit, this TikTok thing might be legit. And then I lined up a bunch of shows around Houston. I was like, I'm going to be in Houston. Might as well do Dallas and Austin and San Antonio. And ended up doing really well in those cities, too. Sold out Dallas on Ramadan, did like 4 shows in Austin, did 4 shows in Houston. And and that was like proof to me that TikTok could be utilized for promoting stand-up. And then my manager was like, we got to get you an agent. And then shout out to TJ Mark Walter, who hit us up. I was like, how do we like what Nimesh is doing? Like, what do you want me to rep? And I was like, yeah, let's go. And then it was off to the races. Like, we can't do weekends because everything's booked. It's all like all the people that were put off in 2020, like the Nate Bargatzes and, the Taylor Tomlinsons of the world, who were like taking all the weekend, who had 2020 dates lined up. We're now doing 2021 like weekend shows. I wasn't shit. I couldn't prove out that I could do weekends yet.
Yeah.
And so they're like, do off nights. And I was like, all right, I don't give a fuck. I got to go on the road. I've never been on the road, like for real. Like I never done the full tour up until last year. Like I done a few dates, colleges here and there, but nothing like crazy. And so then I was like, I'm ready to go. Put me wherever we got to go. Route me from San Fran to Boston and back to fucking San Diego. I don't give a shit. Let's do it. And so we just lined up as many as we could. And everywhere I went on a Tuesday, was it Tuesday in Nashville or Wednesday in Boston or fucking weekend in Tacoma or wherever, Atlanta. Atlanta's my first real weekend. Sold a bunch of tickets. Did really well and blew out the markets, and people were like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Are you still doing your own TikTok, or do you have someone else doing it at this point?
I hired a team to do it in September.
A team.
It's the company. That's just called the team.
Right.
It's like a company, but it's like 3 or 4 people, 2 or 3 people that do it. But
also, just to be clear here, the fact that you can sell out on a Tuesday is amazing for a comedian.
Yeah, it was cool.
Because that's what you want to do. You don't want to do the weekend. You want to sell out on a Tuesday.
I told my agent, I was like, look, put me on an off night. I'll go do 2 shows on a Tuesday, Wednesday, rather than kill my weekend in New York. Because I love being in New York. I want to be at the Cellar. I want to hang with my friends. And they're not hanging on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I want to hang out on Thursday, Friday, Saturday with my friends and family and do all that kind of shit. But that didn't materialize because I had to take advantage of the fact that the iron was hot, so I had to strike. But
yeah, selling out on a Tuesday, even here at the Cellar, that's like Norton and Robert Kelly. Like even they don't always sell out in the small room.
Yeah, but I mean those guys are
That's early.
they're doing it all the time. But
a road date on a Tuesday, if you sell that out, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's people don't go out on Tuesdays.
yeah. So people were coming out, and that was just proof to a lot of these buyers like, oh shit, he can do something. Who the fuck is this dude? And then on top of that, I wasn't just TikTok quote unquote famous because I was doing a dance and talking shit. It was I actually had comedy behind it. There was actual stand up. So when I get to the clubs, the staff and the people are expecting, who the fuck is this dude? And then I would just do a full hour set of like good shit. And like, oh shit, it's a comic,
Yeah.
And that was the best part. It was like we didn't know what we were gonna get. But TJ and Reg spoke very highly of you as a comedian, and then you went up and you actually did comedy as opposed to just bullshitting for an hour or whatever it was.
Right.
And that was it. That was just a lot of tedious getting in trying to game the algorithm and figure out the algorithm. And it's still like a continuous battle. But that's why I hired a company to do it all, just because it became
too much,
too demanding.
Yeah.
Like, and
TikTok in particular is the most demanding social to do.
For sure.
Yeah.
But like I had to be on. I wasn't really paying attention to Instagram. I wasn't really doing anything else, and I was like, it became too both time consuming and mental consuming because I was like, I'm still kind of constantly on it, but I was on it just every minute, every day. To my point, my wife was like, "Stop! You got to stop." I was like, "You're right."
Sounds horrible. Yeah.
It just fucking like responding to comments, seeing what people are responding to, like seeing how the video is doing, and like ignoring the hate and like trying to be appreciative of the good, but really just paying attention to the hate, which is that's the point where it's like I gotta stop doing this because it's bad for my mental. I go to sleep thinking about it, wake up thinking about it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I mean the team has been very helpful, obviously with some guidance and stuff. But it's all been again like I had no idea what I'm doing.
Well, no, I mean this is like
just figure it out.
Yeah.
So there's certainly a lot of TikTok people that are now going to stand up because they think it's an easy paycheck, but they don't know how to do comedy. So that's what you're referring to.
Yeah,
Exactly. You're the reverse of it, of a comedian who is able to utilize TikTok to then deliver the good stand up.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I think that's important because what's happening is a lot of comedians are being pushed out of club dates for these TikTok stars that don't know how to perform.
No, I mean, and I don't necessarily blame clubs for that because they got to sell
Fill
drinks
seats.
and fill
They
seats
gotta
and
fill
shit,
the seats.
and they got a lot to make up
Sure.
for it in the years that were closed. But I just benefited from the fact that they had a lot of open Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and again, like shout out to Reg and TJ that they were able to like tell these clubs, no, he's legit, like he's done some shit before, like he won't do 20 minutes of comedy and then flounder for what else anybody it wasn't anything like that, and I when I started lining these road dates up, I was like, I gotta have an hour to deliver to these people. I can't just go up there and bullshit because I could bullshit for an hour, no problem, and it'd still be good, but I wanted to take advantage of the opportunity that I had to
You want to be good.
craft a set, do an hour.
So what's next then? What are your eyes on? I don't think you're going to be taking any more writing gigs.
Who knows, man? I'm going back on tour. I have another year of tour ahead of me, at least until right now I'm booked through November, but that's only because December and January will line up pretty soon. But yeah.
Do you like the road? Is it stressful on your marriage?
No, I mean it's not stressful. It's a good question. It's not stressful on the marriage only because I worked at SNL. Shout out to SNL. I was there for a year, but it like kind of prepared us for the long ass schedule of like me being gone 6 days a week, 12 hours a day kind of thing, and then coming home super stressed, going to sleep, waking up, going back to work super stressed. It was like that was here was a bit with the road. It was a bit better. Last year it was a bit difficult only because the schedule was so fickle, up in the air. Like it was a very ad hoc design. There was not a lot of rhyme and reason to it beyond we got to get you in every place you can be. But now, and we adjusted. It took a while to adjust, and then we definitely took advantage of the fact that I would be going to some cool places that my wife had never been to, and I was like, "Yo, you got to come." Like she didn't come to St. Louis, but other cities like Chicago or whatever. Like if she could, she'd pop in, or San Diego or San Fran. Like so, we had time together like that, and we definitely made it a point to, because you hear the stories of like, oh, the road life is tough, man. You never know what's going to happen. And I was like, that going in, so you can prepare for that. You can be like, look, this is what the road is going to be like. We got to make sure that we still make time for each other and communicate and all that kind of shit. And on top of that, like, I knew, again, from the stories that I wasn't going to be out drinking every night, every time I was out at a show, because I love the sauce, but the sauce don't love me, so I could,
don't love everybody,
so I didn't want to be one of these guys that drank till 2:00 in the morning and try to catch a 10:00 flight every time I was on the road, because some of these cities, they call you out. Come to Nashville and fucking drink with us, and people in the crowd, you going drinking? Let's drink. I was like, nah, I can't have a shot. I just know I got to go back to the hotel room and go to sleep. Like, I'm not going to be getting fucked up, because if I did that every night, which I could, I would be dead. And so that prep was a little easier. Now with this tour, this leg of the tour, or this second tour that I'm on now, I'm doing weekends and have a bit more clarity on the schedule, so I can be like, yeah, come out. You know, like I'm doing Chicago for like 4 days, so my wife will come to that, and we'll go to Boston and then hang out in Boston for a little while. And
she also understands the profession.
Exactly. You know, she was a waitress at Stand Up New York for a while, so she gets the deal. Like, she knows what it is. You know what I mean? So
is that where you met?
That's where we met.
Oh my god!
Put some game in, and took a while, took a very long time, but we made it happen. You know. So yeah.
Mazel.
Thank you very much.
Do you have like a favorite city that you go? I mean,
have you ever been to Indianapolis?
I will never go to Indianapolis.
Look, I mean, I've been to 60-something cities in the country.
Well, favorite is obviously a difficult question, but
I'll answer the favorite question.
Yeah.
But for a person who's a chef,
right,
the freshest food I had was in Indianapolis, because all the food from America comes from the fucking Midwest. It's all farm shit. So I remember I was staying outside. I stayed at the Hyatt Regency in Indianapolis downtown, across the street. I forget the name of the restaurant, but it was popping. And we got there, ordered food, and I was like, this is eggs and toast and lettuce. And I was like, God damn, this shit is fresh. Are the chickens in the back? Like, what the fuck? What are they doing?
I mean, they probably are if you're in Indianapolis.
It was so, and it was the same. I think we did the same weekend. I'm on the, whenever I go on the road, I try to bring my friends Sahib Singh and Mookie Thompson with me. But we were on the road in Indianapolis the same weekend the Future Farmers of America conference was being held in Indianapolis. That's like people from Kansas and 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds, 14-year-olds with fucking Letterman farmers jackets, like convening to talk about the future of fucking big corn and big chicken and all these places. And it's just like, yeah, exactly. And I was like, and then you eat the food there, and it was like, oh God, this is the freshest shit I've ever had. It's just, I don't know what, and it wasn't expensive. It was just fucking fresh. As a chef, I just think it'd be interesting to go to.
Yeah.
Favorite city?
Back.
What's that?
A report back, right?
Yeah,
When
yeah.
you go to Indianapolis.
It might be a couple years. I don't know, man.
What's your favorite?
San Francisco.
I was gonna say San Francisco is it's just a beautiful city, minus all the shit that's going on there right now. I don't like a lot of people in San Francisco. I just think the entire city is tied to
Tech,
and how tech has destroyed America, and all these people pretend to be good, but they know what the evil pieces of shit.
Right.
It's the only people I would say that are worse than finance bros.
Yeah, because finance bros admit it. Finance bros admit that we don't give a fuck. We about that dollar, but
I mean, they also work hard. It's like a tech bro like goes to fucking Google and like, you know, works for half an hour and then like goes on a scooter and goes around the place, takes a nap in one of those like ludicrous little nap things.
Yeah.
He's like, I did a great job today. I thought of some things.
You know, it's like there's Chamath Palihapitiya is this billionaire Sri Lankan dude who's former Facebook exec and now is like hailed as a hero, and I always shit on him, and it makes me feel bad shitting on him because he's a brown dude, but I'm also just like, he's also a billionaire, so he's like in a different class. Like you are
still punching up.
Yeah, you're not. We're not the same race. You are a fucking billionaire. And he gets all this hype because he's like all about social impact investing, which, by the way, is a scam. But there's an interview I first learned of him because he was talking about how he used to work at Facebook, and he helped design the algorithm that got people addicted to Facebook. And it's like,
That's fucked up.
You created nicotine, and now you want people to treat you as a hero, and that to me is emblematic of everyone in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Everyone in San Francisco is part of some vile, evil shit, and they all know it, but they quench their souls by saying, no, but we care about people and gay rights, and it's like, motherfucker, you are the problem.
Right. They virtue signal, value signal, however you want to say it, to kind of
I mean, that is the perfect outlook. I was there for a year and a half, and I was working the whole time, so like I didn't really see anything that I didn't want to see.
Yeah.
You know, I was like working or, you know, like getting stoned on a fucking moped and like just traveling, and that was amazing.
Yeah, it's a beautiful city to do that in.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
But like I didn't see any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I would do events for like people from Google, like I would just pretend like I couldn't hear what they were saying.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Just
if you're blind to that, San Francisco's
Exactly.
fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Best spaghetti. I still remember. I went to San Francisco 2015 for I think one of the first or second times. We had just come from my friend Hassan's wedding from Sacramento, and we went down to San Francisco, and one of my friends had recommended Delfina as a restaurant to go to. And I remember in 2015, to this day, I remember that's the best spaghetti I'd ever had. And it was just like, it was like 9 o'clock at night, and that's why it was so good. But I just remember it was so simple and perfect. I was like, this is the best fucking spaghetti I'd ever fucking had. It was San Francisco.
Wow.
Yeah, it was incredible. San Francisco's amazing. What else? Chicago's really cool.
Great food in Chicago.
Chicago's fantastic.
Do you like DC?
DC.
Because you have friends, right?
DC is my favorite city to do comedy in, and also DC is very close to my heart because my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, my nephew lives down there, and like DC is just DC is dope. I love DC.
Yeah, I lived there for like 5 years.
Yeah, minus July and August because it's sweltering hot. DC is. I could move to DC. If I were going to move to another city, I'd probably move to DC.
Yeah,
I definitely
super smart.
agree with that, yeah.
Food is amazing. Like
the food is tight there.
Yeah, food is really good.
It blew up like in the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. And that's like the great part about it because they have a new food culture.
Yeah.
So like people have to do special things and like it's not like trying to stand out, but it's like how do you separate yourself from all the other restaurants?
Yeah, we went to I think I was there. I opened for Aziz down there in 2018 maybe. Yeah, I think it was my 2018. We went to Kith and Kin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that place is awesome.
It closed I think, but it was amazing when we went. And we also had Rose's Luxury.
So fucking good. Obama's favorite restaurant.
It's incredible. Like there's you don't pick anything. They just give you the whole menu, and you're like, I think you pick like 7 out of the 8 dishes or whatever, and like if you want, you could have all 8.
And you have to wait in line to go. You probably didn't have to.
No, I did not. But yeah, we got a table arranged and all that kind of shit. But it was fucking so good. The food there is incredible.
Yeah,
and that's just only 2 of the restaurants we went to. I'm sure they got I went to an Israeli restaurant there. In I guess
a place called Maidan that's insane in DC.
Maidan?
If you ever go back,
never heard of it.
Maidan, I think it got a Michelin star. Maybe
is it Israeli?
No, it's like Lebanese. I want to say, but like Middle Eastern, like generally.
Yeah, it's. It's just the fucking best because like all the smartest people.
That's what I always say. It's the I say all the kids from every AP class in the country go to DC. Yeah. So you just have like perfectionists, overachievers creating like very decent fucking art.
Yeah,
in food.
It's awesome.
Good comedy scene.
Fantastic comedy scene.
Room 808 is fire there. I don't know if you guys have been to that room. Room 808, it's called.
Is that Martin Amini's room?
Yeah.
Okay, I have not done it yet, but
it's really cool. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
And then.
What I found when I was there, really funny comedians, and I was like, "Oh, great! So like, you're gonna do this professionally, or move to New York?" And they'd be like, "Nah, I got a good gig working for like the Library of Congress, so I'm just gonna do this."
I'm at Raytheon, all right.
You have super funny people who are just like, "No, I'm gonna keep this as like my second thing."
Yeah, like really
super
talented people, and they just had no like, "Nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'll just do this show on Tuesdays. I'm happy."
Yeah, money's too good, and they're actually doing like very Some of them are doing like very impactful things. Oh yeah, I'm a consultant.
Yeah,
and that's all they can say.
Full-blown lawyers in the day.
I'm sure you saw that post. Someone messaged me the other day, and I thought they were busting my chops. But this girl, she said she loved comedy. She saw the show here, loved my set. She's gonna leave her job as a human rights attorney to pursue stand-up comedy.
Oh no!
And I thought she was being sarcastic. Yeah. So I was like, I didn't make fun of human rights lawyers. And she's like, No, I'm serious. I'm like, Oh God,
what a fool!
Jesus.
Did you tell her not to do it?
Boy. Oh, but
I would have said, hell no, do not do that.
I can't tell someone what to do with their life. They got to figure it out on their own, you know.
Yeah.
But
I mean, she did.
Someone's gonna
ask you, right?
Someone's gonna stay in jail longer than they should have because of you.
Because she's at an open mic.
Literally.
She was Indian. She's leaving London, moving to New York to pursue stand-up comedy.
Oh no!
Could have saved somebody's life.
Yeah, man.
Not to. And
I'm ruining the world one show at a time.
Everyone's free in England, man. There's no human rights violations happening in England. It's like
kind of a valid point, yeah. Seems like a really fucking chill city.
Yeah. I want to go to London too. I haven't been to London, but
yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, New York's got a good food scene. It's the best food scene. But I mean, like,
But it has fallen off.
It's fallen
I
off
feel.
Yeah.
since the pandemic. Like, and I get it. Like, they've cut back on staff, they've cut back on ingredients. They've had to because they've taken such a hit on money.
Yeah.
and it's just not the same.
It's also just like absolutely impossible to hire people.
Yeah.
Because I mean it's like different from when I started where it's like fuck you, you're gonna get paid shit and whatever. Like now, somebody that has no experience will be like, hey, I want to get paid $23 an hour, I want to work 39 hours a week, and like I want this and this and this, and I'm just like, you're out of your mind? You have zero experience.
right. Where are you a chef?
I actually run my own company now. Yeah.
Doing
so
what? Catering and stuff?
yeah, I mean it's
Plug it.
yeah, so there's kind of two layers.
Can I eat
Chef
this last
Raph
piece?
NYC.
Yeah, that's for you, man. This is your cheat day.
There you go. Enjoy, man. Yeah, man. Get a lot of that sauce. It's all about the sauce.
Yeah, that sauce was.
But yeah, so it's kind of like there's a lot of legs of it. Some of it is like doing actually private events at people's houses. I have opened a sandwich shop like 2 months ago now.
What's it called?
So it's at a plate. It's at a place called Charlotte and Weber. So they're like a pre-existing butcher shop. So it was just like a seamless transition. I mean, it took like probably a month to open. And it's finally at the point where I don't have to be there every day, which is amazing.
What's
you know?
the name of the shop? It's within.
Yeah,
Charlotte,
yeah, it's in there, and we're opening up a cocktail bar within a month together. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like private events. There are a lot of ticketed events. There's like a pool tournament that I'm doing soon.
That's dope, man.
Yeah,
Nimesh, we're going to be doing a comedy show there next week.
Charlotte.
dude, let's do it.
Am I invited?
saying. I mean, we've already played the Mexican restaurant.
Right?
Let's play the butcher shop.
Wait, hold up. Pull up, man. Sandwiches and comedy. Let's go.
Did you ever? How long you been in New York?
I lived here since I was 18, kind of like on and off.
Did you ever hear about the
that's-
sandwich shop around the corner? I think it was on Bleecker, called Abadanza.
No, I never have.
Did you? You went to NYU, right?
Yeah.
When I was a freshman, sophomore, there's a place on Bleecker between McDougal and whatever 6th or whatever that is, called Abadanza. The best sandwiches I ever had in my whole life. Like, I still remember them to this day. They put these crispy onions on this fucking chicken and turkey. I was like, this is
Damn.
burned down in a fire, I imagine.
Well,
But it was fucking, and I can't meet anyone that didn't go to school with me that knows the place, but I was just trying to meet somebody that
Yeah, you need to find your
it
Abadanza
was incredible.
do
But
you,
yeah,
memory
do you,
bank.
you spend a lot of time in New York? Is this where you?
I live here, so
Okay.
I live in Brooklyn, but
All right, I'm gonna certainly blow your mind when you pull up. Just let me know and I'll make sure I'm there,
oh yeah, for sure.
and I will make that sandwich for you.
It's by the comic strip. It's
Yeah. It's
yeah.
86 and Second. Yeah, it's like right off the Q train. You come through, taste a lot of meats, which is dope.
I'll bring my friends.
Oh, you don't eat red meat though.
No, but my wife does and my friends do.
How about pork? Is that fine? I definitely read what he wrote to me.
Just
Yeah.
a turkey on a sandwich is banging.
There we go.
That's my barometer for how good a sandwich
Super
spot is.
simple, yeah.
Classics.
Can you make a turkey sandwich well? If not, then you ain't shit.
It's
You
like
ain't
cacio
shit.
e pepe at an Italian restaurant.
Exactly.
It's a
You
wonderful
gotta-
point. Yeah.
yeah.
Wonderful point.
Pared down.
The best sandwich shop I've been to in New York so far is this place called City Subs. It's in Park Slope on Fifth Avenue, between St. Mark's and Bergen, I want to say. But yeah, I mean, they have the
City
sesame seed buns or the sesame seed rolls,
Yeah.
which apparently are like super hard to find. Like you can't. They aren't
Those are the ones I use on like some of them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that kind
Makes
of
the
aftertaste
difference.
that you get, like the roasted sesame seeds. Absolutely love it.
I don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
if that's what it is, it's fucking delicious.
Yeah, man.
I just
Yeah.
went to Laser Wolf last night or Monday night.
Fuck you. I want to go there very badly.
I mean, the reservations are no longer impossible to get, but I don't want to shit on the food there. It was fine.
Really?
I mean, Shuka, in my opinion, is better.
Interesting.
I'm a huge fan of Michael Solomonov. Like when I went to Zahav, his spot in Philly, and he has like he has a bunch of spots out there, and he just does it right. Damn, Laser Wolf is. Damn,
The-
it sucks, dude.
I guess they give like an appetizer plate, which is like 9 different.
It's like
Israeli-
meze, right? It's
yeah,
like
it's like
the little
baba
things.
ganoush, little
Right.
pickled green peppers, not green pepper, green tomatoes, hummus in the middle. That was incredible. Hummus was fantastic.
That's like all I want to eat. Yeah.
The baba was fantastic. The pita was really well done, but I think they're just lacking on the entrees. Like we got the chicken and my wife ate the lamb, and the lamb, she said, it tastes like anything we would get at like an Indian wedding. Like they do lamb shish kebabs at Indian weddings a lot, and the chicken was like decent, but I wasn't like. I think we were paying for the view because you get a fantastic view of the city. I have pictures of it, but
really, really got to go out there.
But I wasn't blown away by the food by any means.
What is it called
Really?
again?
Laser Wolf.
Laser Wolf.
Yeah.
Are Indian weddings like? Is the food really good?
Hell yeah.
That was my follow-up question.
Yeah.
How do I get in one of those, man?
Well, I mean, like in New
Marry
York,
an Indian woman.
a lot of the the big
Working
thing to
on
do is like you go to Russo's on the Bay in Howard Beach.
That's the view.
Am I the only one that knows what that is?
You are the only one. Who
Okay, so
Yeah, you
Russo's
are.
on the
But tell
Bay
me
is
about it.
it's a wedding
Just
hall.
sick.
It's in
Yeah,
Howard
it's dope.
Beach. Howard Beach Mafia. That's
Yeah.
that's what it's known for. But
Roosters?
the appetizer hour, there's like a pig on a spit, and then you have like it's all about the food in New York and Long Island at the wedding. Like I had brought Allie Breen to a Long Island wedding, and we had the appetizer hour. And there was like steak and lobster and all this other stuff. And she's like, no, this is the dinner. I'm like, this is the appetizer hour. She's like, no one puts out lobster for an appetizer hour. I'm like, you haven't been to a Long Island wedding.
do you
This is
follow-
the appetizer
How do you
hour.
follow that? Like, what goes
Just
after
more
steak
and
So
more
much.
food. Just
So
pure
much
gluttony, man.
food.
it's
This is
insane.
kind
But that's what people expect. And if they don't
Shout
get
out
it,
to cheat day, though.
they don't get it. They're gonna not be happy, and they'll remember it.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it gets real.
If the
vindictive.
food's bad at a wedding, everything else could be fantastic. That's the worst wedding you've ever been to.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, that's true.
Indian weddings are known for their, at least the ones I've been to. The cocktail hour is like where the food really shines, because dinner time, like outside of the like 60-year-olds, everyone else is like liquored up and just dancing and sweaty and shit, and like they'll eat like a little bit here and there, but cocktail hour is when the people really load up, and so like that cocktail hour food is like will determine how good the wedding is, because it's like at the one I went to my cousin's wedding last time, like 2 weeks ago, they had this restaurant called Rasoi Cater. I don't know if you ever heard of Rasoi. It's this fantastic Indian restaurant in Jersey City, but they had 2 or 3 kinds of chicken. They had like all these crazy vegetarian options, and it was just, I forget what they had. I can't even remember. But like that makes the wedding an Indian wedding, because like at most Indian weddings, it's not plated, it's buffet, because there's so many people where it'd be impossible to plate. I think my cousin's wedding was like 400 people, and my other cousin's wedding is
Wow,
like 600. Impossible to plate that, So like the you can't judge the buffet food as you would the the stations that they have during cocktail hour. But even still, Brasoy did a fantastic job with the buffet then. But it was like a little cold because everyone been out.
Yeah, you're standing behind 600 people. so,
Exactly.
yeah, it's kind of a long line.
Really, really hard to pull something like that off.
Yeah, no, it's damn near impossible.
Yeah.
Well, but have you been to Dhamaka? Speaking of Indian food,
Yes.
have you went?
Yes, it's fantastic.
It's probably the best Indian restaurant in the
Where's
city.
that
Dhamaka's in Essex Market on
Yeah.
Lower East Side.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's
So fucking
Chintan
good.
Pandya's
That
restaurant.
place is crazy.
It's the best Indian food I've ever had.
It's also
in New
really,
York.
really
Really?
beautiful too.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like really cool decor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
It feels like you're in Mumbai kind of, or Chennai at least. It's like
Very vibey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard to get a Reds. Hard
Yeah.
as fuck to get a Reds. I had notifs on for it, and then I was like, I had my boyfriend already. I was like, "You ready to go? We
Yeah,
got a
yeah.
5:45. Let's."
exactly.
That's
Yeah,
what
I was there 3 months ago. Somehow my friend got a reservation for 6 people at like a dinner time, like at 7 p.m. But when I was there, I ordered their paneer dish.
So good.
Was the best paneer I've ever had in my entire life.
Wow.
And I was like, I need this to go. And they're like, we don't make it to go. I was like, all right, well, let me order it to the table, and then once it comes to the table, put it in your to-go containers.
Loophole.
Do it for the same for the chicken. Just because I was like,
Oh, the little chicken that was.
yeah, that little chicken that
That
they
little
split
roast
half.
baby chicken, yeah.
that they split it in half, and I was like, my wife think it was just me and my goon friends, and so my wife gonna come. I was like, I need to bring this home to my wife. She needs to eat this because it's the best Indian food I ever had. And now we have a reservation for next week at 5:00.
Nice.
So like, yeah, but
Yeah.
it's. I mean, they don't do chicken tikka masala, but if you take the roast chicken that they make, which on its own is fantastic, and you chop it up and you put it in their paneer curry, whatever that comes up in here. It's the best chicken tikka masala you've ever had. It's so fucking good.
And I don't even have a point of reference. I'm just like, oh, that's fucking good. And you're saying it does even stack up to the rest of Indian food very well.
I've been to every fantastic Indian restaurant in New York. Sema, Janoon, Tamarind, the places in Curry Hill.
Those places are dope.
Yeah, Dhamaka takes a cake. It's the best fucking food. I don't know what they're doing to that paneer, but I could eat that for breakfast. It's so good. I can't wait to eat it next week. I made my friends and I going to Yankee game next week and against the Angels, and we were like, let's go on the second. I was like, no, I can't miss Dhamaka's reservations. I need to go on the first. We got to go watch the game on the first. But yeah,
that good. It's that good. Around your life.
Yeah, it's that good. My wife's gonna leave work a little early. Like we gotta go. We gotta eat there.
So other than Dhamaka, where can they?
Dhamaka.
Where can they see you?
Oh, well, I won't be. I'm here at the Cellar. I mean, when is this? When is this going up?
I don't know.
We don't know.
Okay. Well, I'm at the Cellar this weekend, May 27th, I guess that is.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I'll be at Zany's in Nashville, June 3rd and 4th. I'll be in Toronto, June 10th, 11th, 12th. Rochester, June 16th to 18th. Vancouver, June 30th. And then a bunch of places you can find me on findingnimesh.com.
Awesome.
Dope.
I'm on the road.
At Kit Reynolds on Instagram. Is it the Cheat Day Show or just Cheat Day Show?
She handles the social.
Yeah, I actually just forgot that. It's just
Show.
Cheat Day Show on Instagram. And follow also RR Comedy on TikTok because Ryan always forgets to say it.
Oh, yeah. I'll plug that. Go ahead, Raph.
You can find me at Chef Raph NYC with a PH. And yeah, we'll be posting about where you can find me, not on fucking Instagram. But yeah, there's a bunch of events coming up for the NFT people that are coming in at the end of June.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, cocktail bar opening up July 1st. It's called Jeremy's. And yeah, I'm sure within the next days a bunch of other shit's coming up. So
yeah,
I'll let you know next time we're here.
Dope.
You can catch me and Kitty Monday nights here at the Comedy Cellar. We'll try to get Nimesh on the show as well. You can find me on Instagram at RR Comedy. You can find me on TikTok at RR Comedy. This is at The Cheat Day Show. And we had chicken. We had roasted and fried chicken. It was
delicious.
Awesome. We're going to post the recipe on our Patreon. And cheat well, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Nimesh.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for listening to the Cheat Day Show podcast. To learn more about our show, the hosts, the comedians, our guests, our chefs, and more, visit our website, thecheatdayshow.com. Also, follow along with us on our social media at The Cheat Day Show on Instagram and Twitter. Future episodes can be found in all the places you get your favorite podcast. Our show is also sponsored by the world-famous Comedy Cellar on McDougal Street in New York City's Greenwich Village. Visit ComedyCellar.com for show lineups happening 7 days a week. Later, cheaters.